Hey YouTube, in today's video I'm going to be doing some lost foam casting, just like I did last week where I made this. So if you missed this video, make sure to head back after you're done this one and check that video out. In today's video, I'm going to be casting this. This is a pattern I carved out of polystyrene foam for another YouTube channel called RSP Gaming. So if you guys are into gaming, check out this guy's channel. I think it's pretty cool. But before we get started, let me just show you a brief clip of how I created this pattern. I carved out the pattern from a half-inch polystyrene XPS foam using my CNC router. After the pattern was carved out from the polystyrene foam, I then coated it with a layer of drywall mud. This is just regular gypsum cement. I mixed it with water so it was very runny and let it dry for 24 to 48 hours. Now that we all know how to create these patterns for lost foam casting, the next thing to do would be bury these in fine dry sand. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Let's head outside and start my furnace. The furnace that I'll be using to melt down this aluminum is the Vevor metal melting propane furnace. I'm going to start off today's metal melt by melting down this big chunk from last week's metal cast. And like I said, if you missed that video, definitely head over to the video after you're done this one. So because I don't know how much aluminum I'm going to need for both of those foam patterns, I'm just going to add another cutoff from another lost foam cast. Alright guys, this is the lost foam casting process, where I bury the foam pattern in a steel container, filling it with fine, dry sand all the way to the top. Now this sand is just your ordinary play sand. This is not green sand, casting sand. It's just play sand. It does need to be dried out because you don't want any moisture in the sand because that's going to affect the plaster coating that you have on the foam. And too much moisture might cause a reaction when you pour the molten aluminum into it. With the foam patterns completely buried, I brushed away the top of the foam with a brush, and now I'm going to put a riser on top of this. The only reason I'm using this is to add more weight to the sand surrounding the patterns. And now I'm going to be adding pouring basins over top of the foam. This is where I'll be pouring the molten aluminum into. 1 can for each piece of foam. I'll continue adding it with more sand, and because I added that riser, it's going to contain all of the sand in the middle to give it that weight that was needed. Alright guys, I'm done making up the mold for today. The crucible still has some solid aluminum into it, but it shouldn't be much longer until that's fully molten. So while we wait, I'll just rest this on the top of the furnace to preheat it. This will be melted down, then I'll throw this in there. So while I wait for the aluminum to melt down that I just added, which really should be pretty quick, I'm going to sprinkle some sand around my working area in my driveway because, as you see, I've had some instances really over here. So you can see over here, this is just like heat spots. That was from when my homemade furnace sunk into the blacktop because it got so hot. But that was a spill, and I don't want my driveway to be messed up anymore, so I'm going to sprinkle down some sand. Alright, so the sand is all spread out. I'm preheating my crucible tongs, and I'm going to get a read on this aluminum to see what the temperature is. Looks like we're about 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. That's probably okay because these patterns are really small. So I'll let this set for another, like, I don't know, 35, 40 seconds, and then I'll remove the tongs. I'll scoop out the impurities in the metal that floated to the top, and we're gonna pour that molten aluminum, try to cast some metal. It's hot out here. Man, wearing all this stuff called personal protective equipment. You should be wearing it when you're melting metal because molten metal is very dangerous. Now it's been about 15 minutes. I can now remove these from the sand and hopefully they came out perfect. Let's find out. Guys, I think it came out really good. Check the detail out. I just have to use a wire wheel to get rid of the black stuff so I could kind of see if it really came out as good as I think it did. There may be air bubbles. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about air bubbles or bubbles of now aluminum. They were underneath of the plaster coating that I applied. If there was an air bubble trapped under the plaster, it's now going to have a bubble of aluminum. So we're going to find out if it's a clean cast or not. Other than that, this looks great. The thickness is perfect. The pattern looks like it came out. The detail looks great. Let's get this in the vise, cut off the sprue, or the part that fed the pattern with molten aluminum, and clean this up. Darn, we have some air bubbles. Just like I said before, there was some air bubbles trapped underneath the plaster coating that I couldn't see. So we have these little bubbles of aluminum. But the good thing is you probably won't really see them because I'm going to apply some aluminum black to the recessed area of this aluminum. So we'll see. But I still think it looks fantastic. Well, guys, they both have air bubbles, but I would say this is the better of the two. It has aluminum bubbles, but this one has way more. Look at down here, right up here, around the headphones, over here. I mean, this one just has more, but like I said, it looks good either way. I'm going to put some aluminum black finish to the recess area, and then we'll see how it looks after that. All right, guys, so these are all coated up with the aluminum black. I'm going to let these set till tomorrow, let them dry, and once it's dry, I'll just do a facing sanding on top of the entire pattern and see if I can clean it up, and it'll leave the black, the recessed black, intact. So we'll be back tomorrow. All right, guys, so the aluminum black does not seem to be working. I applied this. The depressed area just doesn't look good. I reapplied it to this one. It looks really good now, but in about 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to dry completely and look like this one,
which I'm not happy with. Now, I did recently do something in aluminum black, and this is what it looks like. So I don't know why these are not looking like this, because this looks amazing. So I think I'm going to just scratch the aluminum black and just spray paint this black and sand off the facing of it. So I'll be doing that today or tomorrow. So we'll be back with you, and this will be spray painted. So let's see how it comes out. Well, I think the spray paint worked a lot better than the aluminum black did.
Now, guys, the aluminum black does work. I do think that it depends on the type of aluminum that we're using. Now, in this case, I wasn't really sure because I mixed different types of aluminums from previous metal casts.
Now, for the most part, these were cast in cast aluminum. And you can see how well the aluminum black really worked on these pieces of aluminum. This one wasn't as vibrant as the other 2 or 3 that I just showed you, but it still looks pretty good. But as far as this goes, the paint worked much better than the aluminum black.
Now, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to check out RSP Gaming. Leave a comment below if you guys have already heard of or seen this guy's spectacular gaming channel. And after that, guys, make sure to check out the other videos that I have on my channel, because you may be new to this channel. I've never seen them before. And maybe you've been here for a while and you still didn't see the videos, because I have so many videos in my library that I think you should check out. So I'll see you guys in the next video.